Start streaming. And looks like I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Peak. I'm really tired. I was not having a great night. Or I guess morning now. I've got a solid hour before I need to think about work proper. So I'm gonna take it. And yeah. Rough day yesterday too, really. I got a little writing done, but otherwise, not a lot. I had, for going in the context of where I was at, like, emotionally yesterday, it is a big achievement that I am alive today. So, you know. Ugh. The whole, you know, everything going on, just, yeah. I'm doing my best. That's all I can really say about that. I hope y'all are doing better than me. Right. Well, it is time for my daily meds. Morning meds. If it is morning for you, and you have not taken your morning meds yet, honestly, I'd question whether or not it's time for you to take them. I'm taking these early because I have work, but typically I wait for like a 7:30, and it's like 6:50. It's close enough. Taken with water, because I am saving the energy drink for work. Whew. Pretty sure rest of the church can tell that I am like a rolling mental health disaster area. So no one really pushes the bringing energy drinks to work every morning thing. Long as I keep all the computers working. Works out. I also grabbed breakfast before this. I toasted some croissants and put provolone cheese on them. I burnt one of them, but you know, happens. Also, I've moved my chair. My chair is out far enough from my desk that I'm like hunched, which feels appropriate for my like mental state, but you know. I should probably reposition stuff. I'll get to it. One of those fun days. I never really know what exactly can make me so tired. Some days it feels almost entirely random. But it's just like, yeah, yesterday I spent a lot of time staring at the stairs, wondering if it would hurt particularly bad to fall down them. Ugh. Not pleasant, let me tell you that. Not a pleasant headspace to be in. But again, still alive. I don't plan to be going anytime soon. Don't worry about that. Intrusive thoughts just happen. Some days they're worse than others. I wish there was more concrete triggers for it that I could just avoid and be fine. But no, my mental health days are determined largely at random. At least that's how it feels sometimes. I could probably improve things by, like, I don't know, going outside more, drinking more water. Yeah. I know I'm not exactly optimizing for good mental health, but it's a little hard to do that when your mental health is bad and you get caught in a loop. Ugh. It's one of those, like, I have people in my life who want to help or think they want to help, but I'm not really making the full extent of all this is not known, is not like an easy thing to do. And some part of me is worried about getting institutionalized. So, you know, really just me, my owner, my therapist. And everyone else is in some shade of the dark. Lucky I feel like I can trust my therapist with most of it, though. They're great. It's a positive review. Wow, my stomach is making a lot of noises. That probably means I'm hungry, huh? Occasionally I'm very removed from the processes that are going on in my body. Oh. That would have been so cool if it had worked. Alright, I'm gonna snack on some croissant. Some croissant. Doing the daily peak helps quite a bit. I get enough nobody watching that I do kind of just feel like I can say whatever. I don't know. All the VODs get posted, whoever could find it, but it is very obvious a lot of the people I'm referring the VODs to are not watching them. And I'm fine with that. This is my morning therapy time. Maybe it'll eventually evolve beyond that, but you know, right now. If anyone happens to want to show up, it's their prerogative.
I can't see the... I can't see... I can't see the... Always in the middle. I can't see the middle. I can't see the light. I can't see the dark. Standing in the doorway. I can't see your phone because I'm staring at the door. Staring at your shirt.
Oh, I am the coolest. What? Look, fuck it. That was cool as hell. Yeah. This is a little dangerous.
I can't see the... I can't see...
Okay. Much better position. Oh my gods. I'm fine. None of that made me nervous at all. Ignore the fact that I've pissed my pants at this point. Jesus. I was worried I was about to die on the shore. My body is much less angry at me now that I have had a croissant. Oh, I fucking love this song. Alright, where am I going? I just had to jam some croissant into my mouth. Doing all this exaggerated French vowels. Really, I should be trying to figure out some Dutch. I'll get to it.
I've given up
Yeah.
hope.
I'm fine.
I want things to be beautiful. Forgot that things are beautiful. Forgot it was an option. I've given up hope. I'm giving up hope that maybe it could change. That maybe there are options. It could take a different shape. It might not survive the change. It could have survived the change. Will we survive to stay the same? 1,000th prison in my eyes. A serious lonely death beat died. I'm a stranger to the sight. It doesn't even move me.
Passons.
I'm the type to keep pushing.
Ow.
I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. Oh, to work past wasted price. I hardly even mind. Changes in my hand.
Oh,
Money changes in my hand.
Bean.
It's in my hand.
I always forget these can spawn so early on.
Changes in my hand. I want things to be beautiful.
Some part of my brain's always like, no, magic beans, pancakes, those don't spawn. Recovery fungus. All of that spawns in the shore. It really does. But my brain keeps going like, no, you gotta wait until the tropics to find those. I was like, no, they spawn real early. Croissant. Yay. Nice. Love to get a cure all. Alright, into the distance. Oh. Oh, shoot. Okay. I did a slight fuck you up to.
Oh, recovery phone dish. And bandages. Always good to see both of those. I super didn't need to use that magic beam. I just fully circumvented the bit where I thought I'd need it. Okay. Damn, I love this game. I still don't know what those little fairies are for. I remember in one of the Scoutmaster notes. Oh, it's kinda referenced? Those might be the berries that put you to sleep, but I haven't found any yet. You know? Just gonna scoot my chair forward a little bit. Ooh. Shoulders are tense. Alright. Okay. I used way too much stamina on that jump. We're gonna go. Damn it. Okay. Oh, almost dead. There we go. God. This game is so fucking beautiful. And you know I'm having a decent morning when I can recognize it. And I can look this mountain in the eyes and call it beautiful. That's always a good morning.
And I do hope you all are having a good morning so far.
I love doing this.
I hope it's clear. I've had some episodes where I'm very clearly about to like fall on my face or whatever. Times when maybe I shouldn't have been streaming, but
I do genuinely... I very much love doing this. Of taking a little extra time in the morning to share... I don't know, my life, this game. It's just... Well, fuck me. Cannot believe I missed. At least I got the health back. Anyway.
I love spending a little time every morning and sharing this game with everyone.
Even if no one is currently looking at me sharing it. I've looked over the playlist. I do have a playlist of this on my YouTube, by the way. I know there are people who turn up afterwards who check it out, maybe just out of curiosity. I think a few of my friends do. Though if they do, they politely never mention all of the mental health stuff I talk about. I know there are people watching it after the fact, even if they aren't watching it while I'm doing it. And it's a lot like the streams I'm recording at the church. It's really not about the people that are there in the moment. That's one of the big things. The pastor wants to do some more active engagement, but in my like head and heart, it has always been about you know, making sure people continue to have access to it after the sermon. Because if it really touched someone in the room, it's really good to like check it out at home. If you had problems with it, it's good to check it out at home. If you are engaging with religion the way I think you should, you are like going over your pastor's words and critically engaging with them. Figuring out what you do and don't want to keep in your heart for everything. God, I sincerely hope there aren't people who are just sitting around kind of blindly listening to everything their pastor says. I'm not even Christian. Maybe I'm like out of line with how this works, but in my like head and heart, it's always been, you know, you're turning up to hear someone who has studied the subject talk on it, but in the end, it's like a philosophy class, you know? It's just a little bit of teaching you how to think, I guess. And in some smaller communities, it's also a great place to get the last week's news. I mean, with the advent of the internet and everything, it's easy enough to get, like, world news. But tell me last time you heard what's going on with the guy one apartment over, you know? In my mind, it's not an ideal way to build community, but it is definitely better than nothing. And it's a great way to, you know, at least check in on some of the older folks, because they are a lot more likely to be going to church. Make sure that no one's keeled over while you weren't looking. Not to, if anyone from the church is listening to this, you're all very healthy. Aside from those of you who aren't, and we all know. You're all very healthy, except for the people I'm thinking of right now who are actively in the hospital. Like... Yeah, my hope is that no one is blindly listening to anyone, because the topic of your soul feels like something that should mostly be up to you. I'm really of the belief that, that's, like, very individual. And the, like, physically going to church, like, having a faith community, is important for the community building bits, not for the religion bits. Listening to your town philosopher talk about religion is, you know, an interesting experience, but no two people are going to have the same thoughts on it. And good. And I really hope you're not, like, blindly listening to anyone when it comes to your religion. That would be a stupid thing to do. On matters of the soul, you should really have a lot of input. It is your soul, after all. I'm obviously not, like, non-religious. I have beliefs that you could describe as religious. It's not Christian, it's some flavor of, like, neo-pagan, whatever. I've got them. You know, I'm a believer in a number of, like, witchcrafty, ritualistic things. Something about it just kind of works better in my head, and it's removed from the greater system of, like, Christianity and other religions, which has kind of developed, like, some mold has grown on top of the concept of organized religion. I think that's a good way to put it. And I think me advocating for listening to your pastor and critically analyzing everything they've said is probably an indicator of how I feel about that. My hope is that everyone can think critically, think for themselves, and, you know, figure out how to lead their best life. Like, question everything. Or rather, question everything you don't understand. You know? Which is just as difficult of an ask. I think, question everything is a good place to put that bar. but I need to clarify because it's like, yeah, I don't need you to, like, question, you know, like, basic, like, is killing people, well, actually, you should question, is killing people bad, but more just to, like, test how you think about, no, never mind, question everything. A lot of the answers are going to be obvious. You should ask the questions anyway. It really helps you develop your critical thinking skills. Because you hit the question of, why is murder bad? And I'm very curious what people's answers to that is. Because we all know murder is bad. There is like a moral, like, baseline of our country. You know, of most of the world. It outlines that you shouldn't kill people. I am curious why people think that, or why people think they think that. If it's not clear, I am a nerd, and I spend a lot of time thinking about thinking. It's one of those notable, like... Yeah, hold on, this is a bit of a toughie here. I really like that, like, oh, what's the fucking series? Discworld? Is that the series I'm thinking of? I've really only read the one series from it, and it's the one with the kid witch. I listened to it on vacation a while ago, and was just absolutely entranced. It's one of those, like, I don't get out a lot. I have a lot of sensory issues with stuff, especially in new places. So when I go out to vacation, what I'm doing is a little bit less experiencing new places. I can do that locally. What I'm trying to do when I'm out on vacation is, like, change how I'm thinking a little bit, experience some new ideas. So I always try to, like, bring a new podcast, audiobook, that kind of thing, and I'll listen to that in the car, before bed, all of that. And yeah, one time it was Tiffany Aching, that's the series. And that concept of, like, second thoughts and third thoughts, being one of the defining factors of, like, yeah, no, that's how you can tell you're a witch. It's not, like, instant magical power. It's the ability to think about how you're thinking and why you're thinking it. And questioning, like, the society around you on a deeper level, because that, in my experience, it really does give you a kind of power. Again, not in the, like, explicitly magical, like, I can shoot fireballs out of my hands. I mean, maybe it does. I haven't gotten there, if so, though. The kind of power that I get from it is just the ability to openly stand against, you know, social norms and shit. Because a lot of them are stupid. And it's a lot of, like... I feel like a lot of people are just like, yeah, no, I do this because I've always done this, as opposed to having any kind of coherent reasoning. Which brings me back around to, why is murder bad? Have you guys thought about that? Have you answered that question in your own heads recently? Why is it bad to kill another person? I am so curious. If you are the type to comment, please respond in the comments. I have always been of the belief that, basically you should try to allow everyone as much agency as possible. That's, like, one of the things that's in my head that is, what the goal of a lot of society should be. Everyone should get the opportunity to make more choices. Because that's, like, you're a person when you're making choices, you know? So murder is bad, because even though you are getting to have your choice, your fun, live your life the unique way of wanting to kill a bunch of people, you are taking away that power of agency and decision-making from another person. Generally speaking, you should try and help other people live long lives in which they can ask more questions and make more choices. That's kind of where I sit with how I should live life on some level. But in a lot of cases, you're gonna find people who are just like, you shouldn't murder people because murder bad? And it's like, yeah, I agree with you, bud. Murder bad. Why? It's, yeah. And a lot of people will go straight to legality, because that's the only thing that they've been, like, taught, that they have processed. And that's also kind of... It's not where you should fall with that. That's a personal... Because it ties legality and morality too closely for my liking. Because what is legal is not always what is right. I mean, going by my thing of, like, optimizing for agency, which obviously you can only take so far. There are bounds to, like, optimizing for agency. I'm not gonna say it's the best system in the world. It's just what I use as an individual, and it works fine for that. But in terms of optimizing for agency, one of the big things that legality does is take away people's agency in a pretty big way. It's, like, very much... If the defining factor of what makes you a person is your ability to make choices and influence others, getting thrown in prison is a crime greater than any other, because you are deeply dehumanizing another person. I think I'm gonna have to wait for sun here. I'll wait for it over here, though. Feels prettier. So yeah, there is that deeply dehumanizing aspect of, like, it's perfectly legal for the government to send a person to prison. In a similar vein, the government is allowed to kill people. I don't think that should be true, but that is the case for the society we live in. Government's allowed to end your life. They can do that. They decide if their ending your life was right or wrong after the fact. I personally disagree with that on a deep level. I don't think anyone has the right to end someone's life except for themselves. As a sort of ultimate expression of agency, I do think it's misguided, but I do not think people should be like... I don't think you should limit someone's agency too bad to do it. Like, on some level, there should be, hey, stop, I need you to, like, sit back and think over this, you talk to people, and you have other people help you make that decision. But if that is ultimately the decision you want to make, I'm not gonna stop you. At least not past making sure you've thought about it. That's the biggest thing with suicide. In most cases, it is an incredibly impulsive decision. And it's one that a lot of people will regret in the moments between deciding to do it and dying. Which, ooh boy, dark to think about that fraction of a second between pulling a trigger and a bullet entering your brain where you're like, no, wait. But that's the case. So it's one of those, I still think agency should be respected insofar as people should be able to do that, but not impulsively. That's one of the things with my thing of guaranteeing agency for people as a philosophical thing. You can fully, on impulse, remove your own ability to do agency in a way that you wouldn't accept millimeters later. Milliseconds later, I meant. Yeah, it's one of those fun... Blah. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but morality? Hard. Philosophy? Kind of a challenging subject. I have no idea what the next biome is. And to be clear, the hidden tone in my voice is excitement at not knowing what the next biome is. Damn. A lot of scorch berries. It's 5? I don't think I've ever seen a bush with 5 berries on it before. That's weird. Nope. I'm gonna chuck that. I really don't need it. Same with this bandage, I think. I've got a cure-all. My backpack's got a big lollipop in it. Big lollipop is probably important to have. I'm gonna cook this marshmallow. Alpine! Nice. No way I'm getting the one achievement I still don't have today, just because of how the creeping cold works, but I do like the Alpine quite a bit, so no harm, no foul. Also, ensuring everyone's agency is just a thing for me. I know there are other perfectly valid systems out there that other people adhere to. I love hearing about them. I've done a decent amount of just personal time research into various philosophies. Utilitarianism is a label I used to be more distinctly affiliated with. I've backed down on utilitarianism as the label specifically. A lot of the ideas of just like optimizing the most happiness for the most people are still things that I believe to some extent. Not quite as hard. It's one of those, like, I've developed more nuance in my opinions than raw utilitarianism can offer. Okay, where's that portable stove? I'm just going through the scorched berries right away, huh? That's fine. I know. I also like an ideology that you can kind of sum up into fairly brief phrasing. Like, I'm simplifying utilitarianism down to optimizing for the most happiness for the most people. But that simple concept can be like, hey, you could take away a lot of people's agency in optimizing for happiness. You can do a full-on fascist dictatorship under utilitarian justifications. Because you have, like, whatever argument that, like, oh, X person does not know how to make themselves happy, and we can determine that better than they can. We being whatever governmental entity. So, I like to optimize for agency. It will, in a lot of cases, result in people having worse quality of life to some extent, because a lot of people don't know how to make themselves happy. A lot of people will, like, succumb to mental illness and will make themselves sadder. I believe there should be some level of interventions, primarily on a community basis, to help prevent that, to help prevent people from just kind of falling down the depression pit. But ultimately, I think people should be able to, if that is how they want to live their lives. I don't want to interrupt anyone's agency more than is necessary. Granted, I'm also an anarchist, but in a weirdly bureaucratic way. Because I do believe in having large, like, logistics systems and stuff like that. I believe those are very important. Having organizational roles are incredibly important, like managerial roles. Those aren't useless. You need the person who's gonna, you know, figure out everyone's schedules and make sure that, like, shipments are getting to the right places at the right times. And that kind of does necessitate, like, an upper-level structure, but I don't think that structure should be more powerful than the, like, lower-level people who are making sure that all the nails go in the right place, you know? One of those, I believe most hierarchies are just kind of needlessly restrictive. There is a lot of people who are very transparently, like, power playing in corporations and stuff. It's just like, yeah, no, I would like to prove my dominance over other people, and I am using my position as the middle manager of this Denny's to prove that I am superior to you. Because some people were raised shitty, and that's how they think they determine their self-worth. That is how they determine their self-worth. Not how they think. That is how they have decided to do it. You can put in a lot of work to figuring out how to do it other ways, but ultimately, that's where you've landed. And cycling back around to why is murder bad? I have heard some very interesting takes for why murder is morally neutral. Murder is not itself bad. If it prevents a greater amount of harm to a greater number of people, if you're doing a utilitarian argument. Like, if you kill a killer, the number of killers stays the same. And it's like, yeah, but if you're only ever gonna kill that killer, that changes the number of people who are gonna die as a result. It's one of those, like, fun little things of just like, yeah, I can see how people can morally justify murder. I don't have to think it's right, but I can see where people's arguments lie. Or, there is a belief in predestination. I think, in Christianity specifically, it's like Calvinism or whatever. But it is the philosophical belief that everything is preordained at the moment of the creation of the universe. Whether that is at the will of a deity or simply just a logical result of, action, cause and effect, stretched out into infinity. Like, the spin of a particle millions of years ago could have determined whether you were born a man or a woman or whatever. Because that particle collided into a bunch of other particles, and some of them would eventually become the sperm cells that would ferment the egg that made you, or whatever. It's always on scales that are utterly incomprehensible, and as such, I don't put a lot of stock in predestination, whatever, because I don't believe there is one all-powerful divine. I believe there might be a number of smaller ones who manage things on a smaller level, but I don't think there's one guy. Really, I lie more in an animist belief of there being, like, a lot of spirits that govern things on a sort of, like, very individual, like, yes, I am the god of this grove of trees. I make sure this grove of trees doesn't get fucked up. And I can influence things within this grove of trees. Like, I think if divinity does exist, it gets specific. But going back around to predestination, I have heard people argue that murder is entirely morally neutral, because if you're going to kill a person, it is going to be as a result of logical cause and effect, and nothing is really truly your fault. You have never made a decision in your life. It can all be tracked to that particle at the Big Bang that's spun in the right way to make you transgender. The transgender particle. It's one of those fun, like, yeah, no, I don't believe that any decision has moral weight because you have never actually made a decision. And it's like, damn, man, that's fucked up. I'll respect your belief on that, but wow. And a lot of these, like, predestination guys are like, yeah, I don't think I'd ever murder a person. I certainly don't want to now. You shouldn't create a society that encourages murdering people. But if you did, it wouldn't really be of your own volition. It would just be cause and effect. Or because God said so, if you're Calvinist. Which is another very interesting argument for why murder would be entirely morally neutral. And again, I am of the belief that you should attempt to maximize for agency. I believe that you should allow other people to have independent thoughts, to make more decisions in their lives. And I will admit that is occasionally to people's detriment, but I'm not going to stop people from making decisions that I disagree with just because I disagree with them, you know? I don't think that's a good enough reason to limit someone's agency. Nope. God damn it. Okay, I want to get up there so I can get those berries. Problem being, nowhere near enough stamina. Fairy lantern can only get me so much. Shoot. I can make it. No! Ah, shoot. Alright, that ain't good. I don't have any good climbing utilities, do I? Okay, no. I was thinking, like, can I make a solidly standable surface by just... apparently, it will not let me in this case. Shoot. Okay, where do I go if not here? Fuck, I super can't go here now.
I feel amazing. You make me feel like a real fucking starfire. I'm super dizzy. I might be flying. I want to crawl under my covers and just stay.
Well, this sucks.
I know it's weird.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Really hard.
Shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I didn't even get to light the lantern. Okay.
Would it be alright? Would it be okay? Would you
And
be
making a complete circle back to my job.
Would it be
I am documenting the pastor's sermons at the local Methodist church. United Methodist. They had a split recently, so there's that and global ones. I don't,
I'm just a huge orange mess. I'm fucking melting.
Oh,
Make
even
me
that's kind of
sweating.
pretty.
I fucking love it when you treat me like a princess. You rock my world.
And I'm...
You're so powerful. It really, really makes me feel like I'm dreaming. I'm like
There's a really small chance I'm good here.
embarrassing to say.
Really small.
Would it be alright?
No, okay.
Be okay?
Damage outpaced it, just by a little bit. If the rest of the cold could have gone away, but sadly. Yeah, I am documenting a lot of these sermons, not because I am like a true believer in Christianity and believe everything the pastor says, but because I want to give people more opportunities to question their beliefs. I think it's very healthy to do that. I don't want everyone to like come to the decision that their beliefs are false. Questioning will often lead to a reinforcement of one's own beliefs. I think it's important that you have the opportunity to do it. And I also think it's important to maintain an archive. I know I've mentioned it before, of preserving records for as long as possible, just to, for its own sake, almost. I almost can't justify it beyond that. It feels self-evidently good in my head. But it's one of those things of like, having more information lets you make more educated decisions. It lets you make better decisions, in my opinion. As long as you don't attempt to take in too much information at once and paralyze yourself, taking in a reasonable amount of extra information will make it so you're only able to make more choices and better choices. It's... Oh. I'm doing solo, and I'm actually gonna end off real soon. Sorry, Leaper. But yeah, this process of maintaining an archive is, in my opinion, very important to do, even if I can't quite justify it in the moral framework that I have already created. I have already discussed in this. Alright. We can talk more about philosophy tomorrow. Right now, I would like to thank everyone who has turned up for the Daily Peak. I really appreciate your viewership, and I will see all of you guys tomorrow morning. Bye. New to the game, so you need tips? I can delay the end a little bit. I'm playing at really high difficulty levels, so I'm dealing with, like, cold damage at night and that kind of stuff, extra stamina consumed while climbing. You can go back through my VODs and look at how I'm playing, but it's not going to give you... Hey, thank you very much, Leaper. You can look at how I'm playing, but it's not going to help unless you're playing on the same difficulty modes as me. My general advice for newer folk is, when you eat food, you can get a little extra, like, second stamina bar. Make that as big as it can get and keep it up there, as much as possible. It will save your life over and over. Having that extra buffer, means that you can make more mistakes, really. So when you're climbing up, like, whatever short wall, you notice second stamina bar? Good. That's very important. Keep doing it. It's a big buffer for keeping you from dying for your mistakes. That and, I don't know, lunge a lot? Specifically, if you don't have that extra stamina bar, lunge a lot. If you do, avoid it. But lunging can get you, like... Oh yeah, you're fine then, Leaper. You're doing pretty good on that. A lot of the, like, climbing technique and stuff, you'll figure out as you're playing the game. You'll get a feel for it. I've got, like, a lobe in the back of my brain that is developed just to track how much stamina a given climb will take. I believe in you. You're gonna do great. Alright. I gotta go get ready for work. I will see all of you guys tomorrow. Just keep following. You'll get there. I only just got owl. I'm looking to get wolf now, and I mean, I've been dying in the tropics over and over, but I made it to the Alpine today. Everyone is gonna make some solid progress. You're gonna fall every so often, but you'll make it. I believe in you.